accidents on the path of a soul. If your eyes are resting on this video today, my dear one, it is because the universe has aligned this message with the very moment your heart was ready to receive it. Breathe deeply, slowly, and let us walk together. You see, in this life, especially for the chosen ones, there are moments when we are brought to our knees, not in defeat, but in preparation for remembrance. For the soul to remember who it is and why it came, let me share something with you from my own journey many years ago. When I first left the noise of the world and stepped into the silence of the monastery, I was not yet calm. I was not at peace. Silence for me was terrifying, not because it was empty, but because it was full of all the things I had not yet faced within myself: regrets, grief, unanswered questions, unforgiven memories. But it was in that silence that I began to listen, and what I discovered is something I now pass to you. Pain is not your punishment, it is your portal, a doorway to awakening. Many of the chosen ones, and yes, you who are watching are among them, feel like outsiders. You've often wondered, why do I feel everything so deeply? Or, why do I keep seeing patterns others ignore? And perhaps in your quiet hours, you've even asked, why does life seem harder for me? Let me offer this truth. The universe gives its strongest spiritual lessons to those who are here not just to live, but to lead. And leadership in the soul's realm is not about followers, it is about depth. It is about choosing stillness when the world demands noise. It is about choosing truth when lies are comfortable. I remember a young monk once asked me, Master, how do I know if I am on the right path? I smiled and told him, if your path is quiet, lonely at times, but feels true to your spirit, keep walking. And that, dear one, is the same answer I offer you today. You may feel behind. You may feel misunderstood, but trust me, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Let's go deeper now. You see, time is not your enemy. It is your teacher. The way we spend our time, moment to moment, becomes the way we build our lives. So I ask you, are you living with intention? Are you filling your hours with noise or nourishment? Do your days reflect your values or your distractions? When I was much younger, I used to think life was something to conquer, but now I understand life is something to understand, not overcome. And that understanding begins with attention to what you consume, attention to the conversations you hold, and most importantly, attention to the voice that whispers inside of you when all others are quiet. There is something I want to tell you, and I want you to listen carefully. As if your soul has been waiting for these words. You are not broken, you are breaking open. There is a difference. The world may try to numb you, to keep you asleep, to fill your heart with doubt and fear and urgency. But the chosen ones, they awaken. An awakening, dear one, is not always a sunrise. Sometimes it is a storm. But it's through that storm that you find the strength to rise. Let me offer you this image. Imagine your life as a garden. Every thought is a seed. Every action is water, and your attention, that is sunlight. Now ask yourself, what have you been growing? Have you been planting seeds of love or fear, of faith or doubt? The garden does not judge. It only reflects your care. So today, I ask you, start planting differently. Wake up with gratitude. Speak with gentleness. Move with mindfulness. You are not too late. You are right on time, because you're listening, because you're remembering, because this message has reached you exactly when you needed it. Now take a moment. Close your eyes and breathe. Let this moment be a marker, not of just another video you watched, but of a shift, a sacred turning point. I will be here with you, each step, each word, each lesson, because that is why I speak, not to teach, but to remind, to help you remember who you've always been. And so we walk together now into the deeper waters of truth, into the hidden chambers of the soul, where the most powerful transformation begins. Not with noise, but with stillness. You are not alone. You never were. You only needed to become quiet enough to hear it. This is only the beginning. Welcome back, my dear one. You have returned, and that in itself is an act of courage. To return to silence, to return to stillness, to return to yourself. The journey inward is never a straight path. It bends, it pauses, it loops back again and again, teaching us through the echoes of our own resistance. But those who dare to continue, those who return, are the ones who find true peace. Now that you are here again, let us go deeper. Do you remember what I told you before? That pain is not your punishment, it is your portal. Yes, that still stands. But now I must tell you this, your greatest breakthroughs often arrive wearing the disguise of breakdowns. You may have had days when everything felt as though it was falling apart, when relationships crumbled, when your plans dissolved, when the road ahead became invisible. But, dear one, the falling apart is often the universe's way of putting things into place. Not outside of you, but within. I once met a woman during my travels. She was successful by the world's standards. Money, influence, admiration, but her eyes held a quiet despair. She told me, I have everything I wanted, but I still feel empty, and I asked her, did you build your life around your soul or around your survival? Her silence told me the answer. So I ask you now, are you living in alignment with your truth, or are you surviving in the echo of what others expect of you? The world trains us to achieve, to compete, to accumulate, but the soul longs to feel, to serve, to remember. If you've felt exhausted lately, it may not be because you are weak. It may be because you've spent too long ignoring your spirit's quiet cry. There is a wisdom within you that the world cannot define. And when you begin to live from that place, not from fear, not from comparison, but from deep presence, you become unstoppable in a silent, sacred way. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone is meant to, and that's okay. Let me share another story. In my early days in the monastery, I was once assigned to the silence garden. There, we were to tend the soil without speaking for hours. One day, I was frustrated. Nothing I planted seemed to sprout. My elder approached and placed his hand on my shoulder. He whispered the only words he would say that entire week. Some seeds grow only in stillness and patience. You cannot rush their blooming, nor can you blame yourself if they need more time. That became one of the most powerful teachings of my life. You, too, are a sacred seed. Maybe the world has made you believe that you're falling behind. Maybe you've questioned your timing. But please, stop comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. Your soul has its own divine clock, and do you know something else? Not everything that is delayed is denied. Sometimes the universe slows you down to protect you, to redirect you, to prepare you. The chosen ones often feel delays, not because they are undeserving, but because their path must be built on deeper foundations. Let's take another breath now. Inhale slowly through your nose, exhale gently through your mouth. Let the breath return you to now. This moment here is where your power lives, not in the past, not in the imagined future, but here. The mind may wander, that is its nature, but the soul? The soul only ever lives in the present. Ask yourself, what am I doing today that honors my soul? Am I speaking with kindness, even to myself? Am I choosing peace over urgency? Am I practicing gratitude, not just in words but in presence? Even if you are healing, even if you are hurting, you can still choose to water your spirit. You can still say, I forgive myself, I am learning, I am enough, even now. Sometimes the smallest affirmations can rebuild the deepest parts of us. Now listen closely, dear one, there's something else I need to tell you. Something many people forget. Healing is not always graceful. It can be messy, it can be slow, it can be confusing, but it is sacred. And you are doing better than you think. You are showing up, you are seeking truth. You are allowing yourself to be guided. That is the path of the awakened. Let me offer you one final image before we pause for now. Imagine a candle. It lights the room gently, quietly, but its glow can touch the darkest corners without ever raising its voice. That is how your presence works when you live from truth. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to prove your worth. You only have to shine steadily, softly, authentically. And those who are meant to find your light will. Just as you have found this message, right when your soul needed it. This is not the end, only a pause. There is more for us to uncover together, more truths, more remembering, more soul rising. So walk gently now, let these words linger in your heart. And when you are ready, come with me. Welcome back, my dear one. You have chosen to continue walking this path. And that alone is proof that you are listening to something deeper than noise. You are listening to the voice within, not the voice of fear, not the voice of doubt, but the voice of remembrance. We've spoken of pain, of patience, of timing. Now, let us speak of something even more subtle, the unseen battles. You know the ones I speak of, the silent wars fought in the heart. The moments when you smiled on the outside, but inside, you were holding on by a thread no one could see. The chosen ones often carry this quiet burden, not because they are weak, but because they are called to transmute suffering into light. You were not sent here to escape the world. You were sent here to understand it and rise through it. Let me ask you something and be honest with yourself. How many times have you hidden your struggles so that others wouldn't feel uncomfortable? How often have you swallowed your truth just to maintain peace that wasn't real? Let me tell you something, and I want you to hear it with your whole being. You don't have to shrink to be accepted. You don't have to dim your light to make others feel comfortable in their shadows. Your authenticity is not a burden, it is your medicine. There was a time when I, too, tried to fit into a world that did not align with my spirit. I wore masks, I played roles, I said yes when my soul was whispering no. Until one day, I collapsed, not physically, but spiritually, and in that stillness, in that surrender, I heard the truth clearly. You were not created to fit in. You were created to wake others up by fully being yourself, and so are you. You are not here to be tolerated, you are here to be remembered by the right people. at the right time in the right way, but for that to happen, you must stop abandoning yourself. Listen closely now. There is no awakening without loss, but what you lose is not truly yours. You will lose illusions. You will lose attachments. You will lose versions of yourself that were never rooted in truth. And in return, you will gain presence. You will gain peace. You will gain power, not the kind that controls, but the kind that liberates, power rooted in surrender. You see, we've been taught that surrender is weakness, but true surrender is strength beyond measure. It's not giving up, it's giving over your ego, your fear, your need to control every detail. I remember a lesson from my elder monk. He once told me, the leaf does not resist the wind, it surrenders, and in that surrender, it learns to dance. So I ask you, can you learn to dance with the unknown? Can you let go of needing all the answers before you take the first step? You won't always know where the path leads, but trust me, if your heart is aligned, the path will reveal itself with every step you take. Let's talk about stillness. Now, not the stillness of doing nothing, but the active stillness of awareness. A state where you observe rather than react, where you respond with intention rather than impulse. We live in a world that rewards speed. But wisdom is cultivated in slowness. You don't have to rush. You don't have to chase. You are not behind. You are simply becoming. Breathe that in. Let it sink into the places where anxiety has lived too long. And if your heart feels tired, please hear me. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to be a work in progress and still be worthy of love, peace, and grace. Let me share another story, one that lives close to my heart. There was a young monk in training who used to cry at night. Every night, without fail, he was kind, thoughtful, gentle, but he carried a heaviness he couldn't name. I sat with him one evening under the Bodhi tree and asked, "What troubles you, young one?" He looked at me with wet eyes and said, "I am trying so hard to be perfect here, and I still feel like I don't belong." I smiled, placed my hand on his shoulder and whispered, "Perfection is not the goal. Presence is. You belong not because you do everything right, you belong because you show up." That night, he stopped trying to become perfect, and he began to simply be real. So now I offer that same wisdom to you. You are not here to be flawless. You are here to be fully human, and in that humanity lies your sacred power. Let your tears be prayers, let your silence be sanctuary, let your mistakes become your teachers, and let your journey, exactly as it is, be enough. There is no map for awakening, there is only a compass, and that compass is your heart. So as we prepare to close this chapter, I invite you once more, return to breath. Return to stillness, return to self. You are safe here, you are seen. You are loved not for who you pretend to be, but for who you truly are underneath it. All. You are the chosen one. Not because you are above others, but because you have chosen to awaken while others sleep. And that is the highest calling. This message is only beginning. There is more to remember, more to reclaim, more light to return to. So, meet me again soon, my dear one, you've come back again. Dear one, that tells me your soul is waking up to its own rhythm. That you're beginning to trust your inner pull more than the outer push, and for that, I honor you, because in a world that celebrates distraction, your attention is a revolution. Your stillness is a rebellion. Your presence is sacred. Today, I want to talk to you about something the world rarely teaches. The power of letting go, not out of defeat, not out of bitterness, but as a conscious choice, as a sacred release. You see, we carry so much old wounds, past identities, unfulfilled expectations. Stories that were never even ours to begin with, and all of that emotional weight becomes like stones in our spiritual backpack. Eventually, we grow weary. Not because we're weak, but because we were never meant to carry it all. Let me ask you something. What are you holding onto right now that's holding you back? What belief, what memory, what person, what version of yourself are you still clinging to, even though your spirit longs to be free? Sometimes the greatest act of strength is not in holding on, but in releasing, with love, with grace, and with trust. I remember a moment in the monastery. It was during a silent retreat. For 7 days, we were not allowed to speak or write or interact, only reflect. On the 5th day, I sat beside a stone wall, and suddenly a wave of grief came over me, unexplained, unprovoked. I couldn't run from it, I couldn't talk it away, so I breathed into it and asked it, "What are you here to teach me?" And the answer came not in words, but in an inner knowing. Let it go. You no longer need this version of pain to protect you. Sometimes the suffering we hold has become familiar, comfortable, even we identify with it. It becomes who we think we are. But my dear one, you are not your pain, you are the space in which pain has passed through. You are not the wound, you are the healer rising from it. It takes courage to outgrow your own suffering, but you're already doing it. Even now, let's take a breath together. A deep inhale, hold, and release. Let your exhale carry away something that no longer serves your soul. Now, Let's talk about self-worth, not the kind built from achievement, but the kind rooted in being. You are worthy because you exist. Not because of how productive you are, not because of how many people approve of you, not because of your status, appearance, or past. You are worthy the moment you arrived in this world, and nothing can ever take that away except the stories we've been conditioned to believe. Many chosen ones grew up questioning their value, feeling like they didn't quite fit in. Maybe you were told to be quieter, to stop dreaming so much, to follow the rules, to be realistic. But I say to you now, your sensitivity is not your flaw. It is your gift. Your dreams are not distractions, they are divine instructions. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out in love, in wisdom, in light. And if the world has ever made you doubt that, I want you to remember this moment. Right here, right now, because you are being seen, truly seen. Let's pause for a moment. Place your hands over your heart, close your eyes, and say to yourself, silently or aloud, I am enough, I am whole, I am awakening. These aren't just words, they are medicine, they are truth reclaiming its place in you. You see, healing is not a straight line, it is a spiral. We revisit the same lessons, but each time with more clarity, more grace, more awareness. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you still feel pain. There's nothing wrong with needing more time. Growth is not always loud, sometimes it's invisible. But invisible doesn't mean ineffective. Let me share one last image before we pause again. There is a bamboo plant in Asia that doesn't break the soil for years. For 5 years, it grows inward, its roots stretch deep beneath the surface. And then, seemingly overnight, it grows over 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Did it really grow overnight? No, it was preparing, strengthening, rooting. You, too, have been rooting. You may not see the full bloom yet, but something within you is stretching, expanding, becoming, and soon that growth will break through into the light. So don't doubt the season you are in, even if it's quiet, even if it's slow, even if it doesn't look like anyone else's journey. Your roots are sacred. And what is rooted in truth cannot be shaken. The journey continues, beloved one. The awakening deepens. There is more to remember, more to release, more to reclaim. Meet me again soon. There is still one more sacred chapter before the final message. Let us walk together. You have returned again, and I can feel the shift within you. There is something different now, not louder, not bolder, but quieter, more certain, more rooted. You are beginning to trust your journey, aren't you? And that, dear one, is how the awakening deepens, not by gathering more information, but by learning how to listen to your breath, to your body, to your own still, sacred truth. Today, I wish to speak to you about something every chosen one must understand deeply: purpose. So many people ask me, Master, what is my purpose? And often they wait, expecting a dramatic answer, some calling from the heavens, some lightning strike clarity. But I smile and tell them this: purpose is not a destination. It is a devotion. It's not what you do once, it's what you do with presence, again and again. Purpose is how you love, how you serve, how you listen, how you show up, even when no one is watching. I've met people sweeping monastery floors with such devotion that their movement became a prayer. And I've met others delivering lectures to thousands, but with hearts far from truth. Your purpose is not always loud. It doesn't need applause. It only needs to be real. Let me ask you, when was the last time you felt fully alive, not entertained, not distracted, but alive, with your heart open, your soul stirred? That moment held a clue, because your purpose is woven into your liveness. And here's something most forget. You don't find your purpose, you remember it. It was always there, buried beneath fear, hidden under doubt, waiting patiently beneath the weight of should and supposed to. You remember your purpose not by chasing it, but by being still enough to feel what makes your spirit light up. Sometimes your purpose is simply to heal, to break the patterns of generations before you, to choose peace in a lineage of chaos, to soften where others hardened. That is not small work, that is soul work. Let me share a story with you. There was once a monk who spent 30 years in quiet service. He never left the monastery gates. He never spoke on grand stages. But every morning, he rose before the sun, lit the temple candles, cleaned the prayer room, and whispered blessings for the entire world. One day, a traveler asked him, "Don't you feel like you're missing out on life? You've never gone anywhere." And the monk simply smiled and said, "I have gone deeper, not farther. That is purpose. To live from depth, not distraction." Dear one, you are not here to imitate, you are here to embody. Embodiment is when your actions and your essence align, when your choices reflect your soul's truth, when your boundaries become holy, when your time becomes sacred. And you must understand this: you do not owe anyone a diluted version of yourself. You are not here to make yourself easier to swallow, you are here to become fully yourself, so that those meant for you, those who see you, can finally recognize their reflection in you. Now breathe with me. Inhale presence, exhale permission, permission to be gentle, unapologetic, free. You have earned your own trust, and that is priceless, but purpose is not only about self, it is also about service. So ask yourself, what do I carry that can lighten the load of another? Maybe it's your voice. Maybe it's your listening. Maybe it's your art, your stillness, your compassion. Don't underestimate the medicine of your presence. Even your silence can heal someone's noise. And now we must speak about something sacred, forgiveness. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's not approval, it's freedom, your freedom, you see. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and hoping someone else feels the pain, but you deserve peace, and that peace begins with release. Forgive others, not because they always deserve it, but because you do. You deserve to be free of the chains of the past, and more importantly, forgive yourself. For the times you didn't know better, for the moments you abandoned yourself to feel loved, for the mistakes you made while still learning to see. You are not meant to live imprisoned by shame. You are meant to rise, tenderly, truthfully. Transformed, you've come so far, and yet, your path still opens before you like a sacred lotus. One petal at a time, one truth at a time, one breath at a time. The final message is approaching. The heart of all we've spoken, the deep remembering your soul came here to reclaim. So walk with me. One more time. Let us step into the final chapter of this sacred message. You have returned for the final chapter of this sacred journey. Take a moment to feel that. You made it here not by accident, but by quiet choices, by the courage to listen, by the willingness to feel, by the sacred hunger for truth that lives within your soul. And now, here we are, on the edge of all you've remembered and the beginning of all you are yet to become. Let us not rush this part. Let us breathe it in, let it settle deep into the roots of your being. Today, I will share with you the most powerful truth I have learned in all my years of stillness, silence, and spiritual wandering. It is this: you are the answer you have been searching for. Not the next book, not the next teacher, not the next retreat. You are the one you've been waiting for. And everything you seek outside you, peace, love, clarity, direction, it has always been quietly waiting within you. You are not broken, you are blooming. You are not behind, you are being prepared. And the moment you stop running from yourself, that is the moment you begin to truly return home. Let me tell you something few dare to say: your soul is ancient. You have lived through many storms, you have wept through many lifetimes. You have carried wisdom that cannot be taught, only remembered. That is why this message found you. Because your soul was ready, because your heart had finally whispered, enough, I'm ready to come home. You may not know the details of what comes next, and that's okay. The awakened do not walk with perfect plans, they walk with trust. Not blind trust in the world, but deep trust in the divine intelligence within themselves. Let me offer one final story. There was an elder monk, deeply respected, deeply quiet. One day, a student asked him, "Master, what is the most important step on the path of enlightenment?" And he answered without hesitation, "The next one." The student blinked. "That's it?" The elder smiled. "Yes, because the next step is the only one that exists. You see, the mind wants to reach the summit, but the soul knows every single step is the summit if walked with presence, with prayer, with purpose. So now, I offer this to you, wherever you are. That is your starting point. Whatever you have, that is your sacred tool. However you feel, that is your divine invitation. You do not need to wait for the perfect moment. This is the moment, this breath, this heartbeat, this knowing. You have walked through storms and still you stand. You have been cracked open, yet you still love. You have doubted, fallen, risen, broken, healed, and still you continue. And that, dear one, that is holy. Let this be the chapter where you stop shrinking. Let this be the season where you forgive yourself. Let this be the moment you breathe and say, I am ready, I remember who I am. You are a light in human form, you are a vessel for compassion. You are a guardian of peace in a world that forgot how to slow down. You are not here to be perfect, you are here to be present, to be real, to be awake, and you are awakening even now. I see it in you. I feel it in the stillness between your breaths. I honor it with every word I have spoken here. You are enough, you are loved. You are seen. And though this page is coming to a close, the journey is not ending. It is only deepening. We will meet again for the final message, the sacred seal on all that we've uncovered. And so, beloved soul, we arrive at the final step, not a goodbye, but a sacred bow to all that has unfolded within you on this journey. If you've walked with me through each page, then you have walked through more than words. You've walked through your own silence, you've stood face to face with your pain, you've sat in stillness with your truth, and now you are arriving at your inner home. You see, life is not something we conquer, it's something we learn to surrender to. We are not here to master everything, we are here to meet everything with love, and maybe that's the greatest shift. When you no longer see your healing as a project, but as a prayer. When your journey is no longer about fixing, but about feeling. When your purpose is not about doing more, but about being more present. You have been taught that your worth is in your output, in your achievements, your noise, your busyness. But I am here to tell you, your worth is not earned, it is inherent. You are sacred simply because you exist. You are a soul walking through the fire and still managing to bless the earth with your breath. That is enough. You are enough. And now, as we close this message, let me share with you one final story. From my early days in the monastery, there was a bell, a great bronze bell that hung above the meditation hall. Every morning, a different monk would ring it to signal the start of meditation, but one monk, year after year, refused to ring it. When asked why, he said, "I cannot ring the bell until I have first awakened the one inside me." He understood something profound. You cannot call others to stillness if you have not yet called yourself, and so I ask you, as this message ends, have you heard the bell inside you? The one that calls you to peace, to honesty, to depth, to surrender? If you haven't, that's okay. You are not late. You are just now arriving, and the bell has just begun to echo. Let this be the time you stop seeking approval. Let this be the moment you release perfection. Let this be the season you lean fully into your own soul. Chosen one, you were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to shrink. You were never meant to walk this world asleep. You were meant to awaken, to rise, to remember. That's why this message reached you, because you were ready. And even now, if you still carry doubt, if you still fear the unknown, let me remind you gently, your path is protected. Your journey is guided. Your heart knows the way. Listen to it, not just today, but always. When the world gets loud, return to silence. When you feel lost, return to your breath. When you feel alone, return to the earth beneath your feet. Everything you need to remember who you are is already within you. So walk forward now. Not with urgency, but with grace. Not with fear, but with deep inner trust. Not with a need to reach the end, but with a heart open to each step, wherever you go. May peace follow whatever you do. May presence guide you, and whoever you become, may it be someone you remember with love. You are not alone. You were never alone. You are eternally held. This is not the end. It is a new beginning, a sacred turning of the soul. I honor your journey. I honor your healing. I honor your light. Until we meet again, may your path be gentle and may your heart stay open. Chosen ones, this message was meant for you. This is the final chapter in the monk's soul-stirring message to those on the path of awakening. If you've watched this far, it means your soul was truly ready to receive it. May you carry this wisdom in your heart and walk your path with peace, courage, and clarity. Let us know in the comments which moment from this journey spoke to your soul the most. Like, share, subscribe to stay connected to more sacred teachings. If this message reached you at just the right time, consider sharing it with someone who needs peace today.